Hello and welcome back. This is Michelle Rose, Real Reality TV Discovery Show, who discover over 20 reality TV shows worldwide, the same concept, the same idea, all registered in Australia and stolen away from me since 2002. You have to listen very carefully, you have to connect all the dots, each show separately, and this is why the sessions are very, very short, so we will not lose each other and will prove my case for each individual show. I will run more podcasts so you can listen to the car in Spotify, and I will run another sessions as reality TV shows about my life. And we will talk, maybe I will bring some guests, but we will talk about my situation. I waited for it over 10 years. Another show, Everybody Dance Now. Everybody Dance Now. Same concept, same idea, and guess what? Register in Australia. Goods and services, trademark, IP, intellectual property, copyright. Everybody Dance Now, Fremantle Media Australia. So Everybody Dance Now, we spoke about it before. Simon Cowell created singing show, Pop Idol. Simon Fuller was one of his judges. Simon Fuller wasn't happy with the money that Simon Fuller is making, and he made an exit, Simon Cowell, and he was offered to be a judge and the face of Fremantle Media, the company that stole my idea from Melbourne, Australia. And from then, everything is history. Everybody thinks that Simon Cowell basically created the show. But if you think about it, in 2008, the MasterChef, and then another hit started for The Voice, which is the same concept as Simon Cowell. No one ever took each other to court because they all knew they stole the idea from me, and they can't prove it to each other. So the X Factor, the same concept, the same idea, in Australia, started in Australia by Mark and Carl Fennessy. Mark is a lawyer in Shine Lawyers, where I went to raise my case and to be heard, my voice to be heard. This is when they asked me for all the documents for their firm, and I didn't realize, and it didn't occur to me that they are a production company as well, and at the time they are looking for ideas for some reality TV shows, which I was an easy target for them to just take me and eat me alive, which they basically did. Dancing with the Stars, Fremantle Media Australia, register in Australia, nowhere else around the world. So you think you can dance Australia? The same thing. So you think you can dance Australia? The same thing. Register in Australia, nowhere else around the world. Whoever is watching this, if you're a lawyer, if you're a judge, this is what it is. If any of these shows were registered overseas, in the UK where they said it started, in America where they said it started, in Holland when they said it started, Why all legal documents referred to Australia? Because this is the home base of me, which I started at the shows, and this is how they knew about my concept. It's just very, very unfortunate that I wasn't involved creating this amazing concept, my ideas to the world. Came from the heart. It's like writing a song and changing the words for me, or taking the words, stealing the words for me. Using the same concept for all of the shows, 4 judges, boot camp, reality TV, competition voting. There is no difference, no changes for any concepts since 2002. They say they copy each other's, but as you can see, they're all registered, copyright, intellectual property, proven documents by ASIC, which is the government registration for businesses and goods and services in Australia. So you think you can dance now? Okay, so we have So You Think You Can Dance, Fremantle Media Australia, Don't Stop Dancing, which is the same thing, produced by Shine Australia, which is the same owners, Mark and Carl Fennessy. Fremantle Media Australia, they keep changing names so they won't be able to be found. Australia's Next Top Model with Sarah Murdoch, The X Factor, everybody does now. So you think you can dance? It's all the same concept, all registered in Australia. Okay, I'm gonna end this session now. Thank you very much for listening. Remember to have a look very carefully for the registrations. I'll show you documents, you can have a look, you can read into it. All the registration made in Australia for goods and services, trademark, copyright. This is why no one else can reproduce the show as they wish for, except of the people that stole it from me. From Michelle Rose, Melbourne, Australia. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in again. I'll see you shortly. Thank you very much for coming.